that person doesn't put in the effort, doesn't put in the work, doesn't want to be there with you and grow and build, nothing you can do will make them change. What are you doing, dude? You only have one life. You don't know when your last day on earth is gonna be. You're spending it like this.
Like, you fucking hate your job.
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to going there just to be away from your partner.
Yeah. This is somebody that you once said, "Oh, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with," and now you don't even want to go home because they fucking drive you insane. This is not working. You're not willing to make the changes. So I have to remove myself from the situation. It's not what a relationship is meant to be. Life is too short to be with somebody who doesn't make you happy. What's up, guys?
Back again, another chapter, a very important chapter of our book that we're covering today exclusively for the Coffee Breakup listeners. This is your segment, my friend.
Absolutely. We're at the last course, the last part of the book, right? It's part 4 if it doesn't make sense. So we're in chapter 13. It's not supposed to be like this.
Exciting.
Yes, so obviously for the past 12 chapters, previous 12 chapters.
However many fucking things we've done.
Yeah, we've talked about becoming a better individual, becoming a better person, doing all the things that you can control to be better each and every day. Finding people that you share the same values with and experiences, and just kind of overall create a better life, right? Now we're at a point where, we've talked about long-term relationships and all that good stuff, but sometimes even the most effort doesn't get you where you want to be. Sometimes it's just not enough, right? Because you can only do so much. You're only in control of your own actions, but you cannot control the other person, right? You can be with somebody and you love this person, you want to do everything for this person. But if that person doesn't put in the effort, doesn't put in the work, doesn't want to be there with you and grow and build, nothing you can do will make them change.
And to
This
you,
is where we are.
yeah, and to you all who will say, well, no matter what, partners, sometimes they go through a rough patch. You got to be there. You got to support them. You got to make sure that you have their back. Listen, I get that. You want to be there because people go through rough patches, that they need support. Maybe they need some time, or you're just wondering what's going on. Sometimes they come back around. Sometimes they don't. And at the end of the day, you have a certain, we could call it boundary, tolerance, whatever it is that you're willing to allow to happen to you and what you're willing to take. Now, it's important to try. We talk about it all the time. Try.
Sure, of course.
And sometimes your partner is in a situation that maybe they can't. Maybe they're going through something. Shit happens. Life happens. Life is messy. People are messy. We talked about it before.
Literally, yeah.
But when do we call it quits? When do we say, hey, enough's enough? When do I have to put myself first?
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of what this chapter is about, where it's like, well, where do we draw the line of, is this really sustainable? Is this going to be love everlasting? Or is there a time where we need to sever this and go the other way?
For sure. One thing I have written down is, and it says here, love should not feel like a chore, right? So this is all I always say, love, relationships, they take work, but it's not supposed to feel like work. So when you go, like, even for us, like, we have jobs that we kind of hate, right? We do things that we don't want to do.
Terrible.
Exactly. But the minute your relationship feels like that, that's where you have a problem. Like, sometimes I wake up, 'cause I wake up super early. And I'm like, oh no, like even at night, I'm like, oh, I gotta wake up early. I don't want to be there. I don't want to do this. It's work, right? It means to an end. But if you feel like that with a relationship, with a partner, that's a problem.
Damn,
That's
dude,
a problem.
for real, bro.
You know what I mean?
I gotta go home and I gotta fucking deal with my wife. I gotta talk to all my man's probably home doing nothing. He's gonna fucking give me some book. What are you doing, dude?
Right then, and then you ask, oh, how do I know this is time to walk away? This is what you're feeling right now. It's not normal.
It's like you're holding on, expecting change.
Yeah.
But then I also think like you're probably still within the relationship and really not supporting change either. I mean, there's conversations, and I feel like if you followed along everything that we've covered in this course, we can really avoid this situation. But if you find yourself in this situation, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I think it's very important because a relationship, something that we put here, is a place of peace, not misery.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I always tell my girlfriend when I come home from work, because sometimes she's not there. I'm very fortunate that she can just work from home most days. So when I leave work, I go home and she's there already. So of a day of work, at my job that I'm fucking like, fuck, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. I finally leave, dude. And then I open up the door to the apartment. I see my dog running to me. I hear my girlfriend in the back, and I'm like, this is peace. This
Yeah.
is home.
For sure.
That to me, dude, like I can't imagine the opposite.
Yeah.
And some people are actually living that life every
Every
single
day. Oh fuck. And it's like, and you listen to them, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You only have one life. You don't know when your last day on earth is gonna be. You're spending it like this.
Dude,
Like,
it's crazy.
fuck.
Like, imagine you looking forward to work. Like, you fucking hate your job.
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to going there just to be away from your partner.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's funny thing. Quick story. I have a coworker I work with. I'm not gonna say names, obviously. And like sometimes,
Fuck that guy.
sometimes he leaves work early, super early, and I'm like, "Oh, you gonna go home?" He's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna go home. I'm gonna stop at a bar, have a couple of drinks, like a titty bar, or whatever. Have a couple of drinks."
No.
Yeah, because he's like, "I don't want to go home. I don't want to deal with the wife and the kids, and just the atmosphere at home." And it's like, that sucks, dude. Having a life like that, I can't imagine. Hopefully, I never have to find out what it's like.
What
But-
do you do?
Yeah, some people feel trapped, especially when there's kids involved. But you really have to sit back and think, is this really worth it for the children, for you, for your mental health, for your, like some people. And I see it, and it's like they're struggling, they're hurting, and I'm like, this is somebody that you once said, "Oh, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with," and now you don't even want to go home because they fucking drive you insane,
Yeah.
Sucks.
What do you think should be done if in that situation?
Well,
What do you think? I have an idea, but I want to hear you.
Well, I think you have to confront the situation like head on, right? You have to bring up this person and you talk to them and sit down like, this is not working. What can we do to solve this? Because if this is going to continue on this path, we're not going to be able to sustain this, right? So honest truth, blunt, full head on, and see if this person is willing and acknowledging, first of all, because some people they're in denial. Oh, no, nothing's wrong, whatever, Like, yeah, something's wrong. We have to address this. So communicating, being honest, seeing if they're willing to work through it. Because if they're not willing to work through it, if they don't put in the effort and they're not willing to make changes, then you already have the answer. And the only solution is to walk away. It sounds a lot simpler than it really is. And it's tough, especially when there's a lot of emotions and finance, kids and all that stuff like that. But the essence of it is, this is not working. You're not willing to make the changes. So I have to remove myself from the situation. You know what it is.
Yeah, I would say I would put like 3 probably ideas
Sure,
if
tell
you're
me,
in
tell
the
me.
situation. I would say 1, approach the situation with a, hey, this makes me feel,
Yeah.
rather than you're
You.
doing this or you're
Correct.
doing this wrong. Like, oh, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. I'm sure that's not your intention. I would hope it's not your intention, because if it is, that's a whole other problem.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's what you're trying to do. What can I do? What can we do a little bit differently for this not to happen again? I think approaching it that way may actually help the conversation. 2, and I've said it before, it's celebrate your partner when they do things right. We like to call them out when they do things wrong, or we
Sure.
like to reprimand them, or don't do this, or I told you this already. But then how many times have you given them kudos for taking out the trash? I make coffee every morning. I like it when my girlfriend gives me props when I make her coffee, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's so good. I feel so good right now. I need coffee." That drives me in the morning. Like, fuck, I gotta make coffee for this girl. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Because then I make her, and she goes, "Oh, now I have a normal day. I did that. Feels good."
Sure.
So I think always celebrating when they do something right, something correct, something nice, even if it's an everyday thing. It's nice to be reminded that we're trying and we're doing stuff.
Sure.
And 3rd would be seek therapy. And I don't just say find one person and stick with them. I would say do a couple of sessions with one, do a couple of sessions with another, and find the person that makes the most sense for you and your partner, where you both have a fair say in what's going on and can work towards a resolution together. Problem is not you versus your partner. It's you and your partner versus that problem. If you guys can't identify that, find someone who can help you identify that. Therapy is a good option. If not, this course can probably help you realign yourself to find those answers. And if not, and when all else fails, we have a partnership with BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/thecoffeebreakup. You'll get a nice little discount on your first month, and you'll be able to kind of test around some therapists and one that makes the most sense for you. Of course, we recommend in person, so you both have a fair shot. But BetterHelp, I think, is a good stepping stone in that direction.
It's a good way to kind of start. I like that. Those are good three very good points.
right.
Very nice.
As long as you try, I think one of those 3 should work.
For sure. And if it doesn't, come talk to us.
Yes. Another thing that we had put here is Yeah, like this one that was summarized. Frequent breakups, lying, and unconditional attention are not love, and conditional attention are not love. I apologize. Yeah, so we always find ourselves, or some people that write to us saying like, "Oh, we're back and forth, breaking up, getting back together." Where I think this time for sure, dude. I think we've had people on that have been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I don't even know what their situation is now. But clearly, that's not a healthy environment to be a part of, right? I don't think that's something that you want to be a part of. I don't think there's really anything consistent. There's no security there. Yeah. How can you really build a strong relationship that's long lasting if you can't even have that peace of mind that you're not going to break up or that they're not going to lie to you again?
Absolutely. And especially like we're too old like for those games. When you're younger, you break up and then a week later you're back together. But we're adults, hopefully, you're in a different chapter in life. Dude, you have responsibilities, you have things that you want to achieve and goals and aspirations and dreams. Do you really want to go back and forth with somebody? Like, it's literally not supposed to be like this. Like, that's part of the book is called, it's not supposed to be like this. Because the truth of the matter is that it's not. We always talk to Dr. Hasty and all that stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, like, loving someone is not supposed to be difficult. And people overcomplicate situations. They overcomplicate partnerships and relationships. And the truth of the matter is it's not that difficult. And obviously, life gets messy, and you have to clean it up and stuff like that. It takes work, sure. But when you have to force things, when you have to, every day you wake up, oh, my God, it's another argument, another fight. I got to walk on eggshells, and I come home, and they yell at me, and this, and there's abuse. Stop. That's not what love is. That's not what a relationship is meant to be. Life is too short to be with somebody who doesn't make you happy.
Yeah, I agree. And the last thing here is that love involves vulnerability and surrendering, which I think is a little bit of a dicey topic. Because whenever we talk about vulnerability, it's almost like men can't be vulnerable because women are just going to fucking leave us and walk all over us, whatever. We've talked about it before, and you're one of the ones who's preached it. Vulnerability is real strength when you actually aren't afraid to talk about how you feel and not worried about the partner leaving you. I mean, if you're afraid to really voice your opinion of how you truly feel and there's a risk of your partner leaving, what the fuck do you want to be with that partner? So I think finding the right person, and when you are vulnerable, again, especially as men, we are problem solvers. So if you feel like there is some sort of issue that's really bringing you down, we're all in control. We all have the power to make change. We talk about that earlier in the book, early in the course. So that's one of the first chapters. We're in control. And we have the power of choice to get ourselves out of that. But you do want to be in an environment with your partner where you are able to really share how you feel and have communication, thorough communication, not really putting on a mask or trying to lie about things or trying to pretend that everything's okay. Things will not be okay. And I think that when you find the right partner, you're able to speak like that openly, and you're able to speak with that without really feeling like you're going to get reprimanded or kind of dragged through the mud for something that doesn't appeal to them. So that one said, love involves vulnerability and surrendering. If you feel like you're almost afraid to because you don't know how the other party is going to respond for you being your true self, it's not supposed to be like this.
Exactly. So I think it was a good way to kind of, summarize this chapter. And for people who want to know more and how to walk away, I think next week's segment is going to be very, very exciting for them, because now that's when we talk about how it is to actually walk away. What is it like? What do you have to do? What do you shouldn't do?
Yeah,
right? So
what you probably think is near impossible to do, we're not going to help you do it. All right. We want everybody to live a very happy, healthy life. And that also involves the relationships that you keep around you. There's toxic relationships, there's healthy relationships. And when you find yourself in a toxic relationship, or just maybe one that's just not meant for you, what do? Do we stay there, or do we walk away? Let's teach you how.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Till next time.
See you guys.
CoffeeBreakup.com. Check us out. Get the book, the course, the keys. It's all there. Bye.
Ciao, guys.